Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday the 21st of July and we've got some new mods. We don't have any updates today, so we can crack straight along. Just in front of me, we've got the John Deere neon sign by Assassin TV. This is 1.22 megabytes download, 3 slots, 2,000 to buy. This one's placed because you are showing your allegiance. Is 840 per calendar month. Build mode generators is where you'll find it because it is earning you income. And as I said, yeah, £2 place it. If you want to remove it, you can remove it. You can place multiple ones. You might be running a garage, or you might just decide our farm needs John Deere sign out the front of it. Whatever reason you want it for, there it is, the John Deere neon sign. Next we've got this. We have strawberries in game, now we have raspberries. This is the Raspberry Productions, 5.95 megabytes download by Carl TG. We've got the greenhouse, which is 18 slots, 4,000. I've got 2 of these. I say greenhouse, they're under greenhouses, should I say. Then behind that we've got the Raspberry Factory. The Raspberry Factory is 14 slots and 75,000 to buy. Build mode, and back from generators to greenhouses. So just there is our £4, and obviously when you place it, until you've put in seed and water, which is what it requires, it will look like that, and then you get your plants will grow. If we come from there, we go across to our factories. Our factory is just there, £75. There's no customization options, it comes just like that. Now, as far as the productions themselves go, as I said, seed and water, 10,000 litres of each, nice. The cycles per month, we have got 528. 4 water, 4 seed gives you 8 raspberry. And if you've got water for free, you're doubling up, really, aren't you? I suppose you're only putting your seed in, which is going to cost you something, unless you're producing it as a byproduct, or you're producing your seed yourself. So that will produce your pallets of raspberries. Now obviously once we're under here where it says storing, I can set the change output mode to distributing. If I set it to distributing, it will go straight from here to the factory without me having to move the pallets. So if you don't want to move the pallets, now it's not mega fast. At 4 to 8 and 528 cycles a month, I'm only on 92 litres, and I've had this running the whole time I've been setting up the rest of the mods, so it's going to take a little while to chug away. Not mega fast, but you know, but it's really nice to do. It's going to be cool having some raspberries. I like that. So the factory itself, then over here, I think our pallets are going to spawn out here. We get raspberry jam and raspberry juice, I believe it was, putting in done here, and our managed production just there. Yeah, raspberry jam and raspberry juice. So raspberries in, and the raspberry jam and juice out. As far as the raspberry jam goes, 14 to 7. 720 cycles, and the raspberry juice the same, 14 to 7, so you're losing half of it in the squeeze of the raspberries. It's a pity there's not a byproduct actually, because if you're squeezing it, I say you should, there'll be the whatever's left, unless that's all left in the juice or the jam itself, which is absolutely marvellous. Yeah, raspberry. I will make that statement, but I would make that statement and say, at the end of the video, I'll fast forward so we can see what the pallets are like, and then by the end of the video, I completely forget to do it every single time. But at least you can see what they are, see what the cycles are. Again, this is not going to run mega fast, but it's pretty cool to have another production, something other than just strawberry. I say something other than, we've got tons of productions, let's be honest, but I think raspberries is quite cool. There you go, Raspberry Productions. Next, lazy modding. It's just lazy modding. And it is, because that's what it's called. This is Lazy Distribution. This is by Let's Be Having Moo. 0.34 megabytes download. Now, this is a collection of things. Under silos, under animals, under greenhouses, you will find the various different things. Now, these are basically distribution points for various different things in game. Some things which don't usually have a distribution option. I know we do have some warehouses and stuff like that. Like, for example, this one here, if I click on that, this is our lazy cow distribution. So we can put buffalo milk in here, manure in here, manure, milk or slurry. So anything that our cows are producing. Now obviously we don't have a point where this stuff comes out. So you would put it in your tanker, bring it to this, so you would have it at your farm. You haven't got to drive miles. And then I suppose you can simulate the fact it's being collected, or however, like I say, as usual, however you want to go about it. 24 cycles a month, 1-to-1. It's again, It's not the fastest thing in the world with not a huge amount of capacity. It's about 150,000 litres of each. Isn't too bad. But it will chug away and it will distribute your things. Now this will distribute out to anything that really requires them. So if you've got loads of stuff that's taking buffalo milk or slurry, it will send them out. So that's that one, for example. This one here, this will do our goat milk and wool. So the goat milk comes on pallets with the churns, and our wool, we can distribute those out. That's under, I'll show you where that is, under animals in a moment. This one just here is for liquid distribution. Now we have one of these with ometanas, but this is a bit more, it's just a mesh griddle down on the floor. Liquid fertilizer, seed, solid fertilizer, water. Again, I just wish the cycles per month and the recipes were a bit higher, because I think a lot of things that require these things, if you've got multiple things running them, it's going to take too long. I think the cycles or the recipe or both needs to be upped a little bit, but again, that's just my own personal thing. Now the point behind these being, I've put these out here, but like with the chicken coop, I haven't got any chickens in here yet, but if I've got my chickens and they're producing the eggs will spawn at the egg spawn point. So what the purpose of these are, and there's a set by Yost that does a similar sort of thing, you put this over the spawn point for the eggs, and then if I come to here I can set my eggs to distributing. So if I've got a bakery that needs them, I don't have to pick up the pallets, don't have to move them, I can just do it all from here. So my egg pallets will spawn in the spawn point, this distribution point will send them off where they need to go. That's the point behind it. And then we've also got a set of silos in amongst this as well. Now the slot count so far, we've got 4, 1 and 1 for the animal one. I didn't write down what it was for the silos, but we'll have a look at the silos in a minute. This is the smaller of them, and this is it's a silo storage and distribution hub all in one. So all of these various different things we can put into this silo, and we can then set them to distributing. So anything else that may require them, we can distribute any of these things out to places they need to go, which is pretty cool. I like it. So we'll go into build mode. We'll start off with our silos, and you'll see the first one's just here. So now the lazy wood distribution is a weird one, because that says placed over pallet spawn, toggle free mode on if required, set production chain to distribute. So, but if you put where the only thing that I know of that produces wood pallets is this mod here, which is you basically put stuff in and it grows wood in inverted commas. So I could put that over the spawn point, but normally, so I thought it would be you just bring wood to it, it will store the wood and you can distribute the wood out. But no, it says over a pallet spawn point. If I go to place it, you'll see as well, it doesn't have the option to set the management of it. I'm not sure with that one. It's a curious one. Anyway, then we've got the silos. Small, medium, large. 117 grand, 4 slots. 125 grand, I think that was about 4. And then 5 slots there, 147 grand. So they're just different sizes, different capacities. And yeah, you can send your stuff off. We come then down to animals. Go to the cows. There's our lazy cow distribution, which was 4 slots, 0. No price for that as well. No nothing on the pigs. Under sheep, now you can just do goat milk. So if you're just doing goats, you can just do goat milk. If you're just doing sheep, you can just do the wool. And again, the price, that's 100. Isn't it weird? The first one was 0. These are 100, but 100's nothing. Or if you're running both, you can have the one that I put out, which will do both, and you can distribute those things out. Then chickens, we just stored the egg one. Bees, we've got one for the honey, just there. And then what else was there? Animals. Oh yeah, and then if we go up to factories, across to greenhouses, and down to here, we've got this one here, which was the greenhouse distribution one, which actually distributes out to greenhouses. Interestingly, not from greenhouses back. So this won't let you distribute greenhouse products, which is interesting that there's not one for that. Let me just double check. I don't think there is. No, there's not. So this actually distributes to greenhouses, not back from them. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's the lazy distribution by Let's Be Having Moo. Next, garage with workbench. So, or tool table. So this is by ikas, 3.11 megabytes download, 20 slots, 20,000 to buy. R3 colour option. There's no solar panel on this. It's a colour option. We also have an option at the moment. The roof is white. Depending on what colour you've gone for, the option inside here, which says roof, just there. If I do switch roof, that will change the roof to the colour of the building, whichever colour you chose. You find this under build mode and sheds. I said what it was already, didn't I? If we come to the back here, and our table, we've got a table over the back there for our horse brush, spray can and chainsaw. So it has a tool table built in, as well as it being a shed, garage for storage of vehicles, machinery, equipment or whatever else you want to use it for. So there you go. Garage with tool table. Next, I was wondering whether or not the scale of this was off. This is a cavern. When you look at the size of the door, I'm trying to think what you would put underneath this. Airships? Aircraft? It's just like a hangar. It's absolutely massive. This is the large drive-through shed by Patty and Ikas. 4.12 megabytes download, 19 slots, 50,000 to buy. Again, this one, the colour, configuration option is colour. I didn't change the colour, but this has another option as well on it, just there. You can do the roof as well. So if you've done the colour of the sides, like I did on this one, you can also change the colour of the roof from white to the same colour as the building. But because it's white at the moment, if I change it, it will still be white, so it won't make any sense. A little bit of flutter on the flags. I like that. That's a pretty cool feature. Cool. And when it says drive-through, I thought it meant this bit, because when you go to place it, well, let's go into build mode and I'll show you. Let's go to sheds. The next ones we're looking at are all in here. There's the first one, there's the workshop, that was that one there. So this one here, when you first go to place it, those bits on the side look like they're walls. And I was thinking, oh yeah, drive-through, that's pretty cool. But no, the drive-through bit is this. Look at it. I mean, it is a hangar, isn't it? Close the gate. Lower the gate! Down it comes, and we do have a light switch just over here, along with the door. So yeah, I mean, if you've got some very high stuff, I mean, I suppose if those, do we still have them? I'm trying to think now. The bale unloaders that used to unload square bales upright, this would be perfect for that. Storing bales upright in here, absolutely job done. Very cool indeed. There we go, the large drive-through shed. Next, what the Gothic Barn. I put this out because this has a capacity 58.49 megabytes download and 53 slots, but it is very detailed inside and out. 100,000 to buy, 90,000 litre standard crop types. This is by Michal Piwko. So you've got a sort of symmetrical split down the middle archway there for storing of vehicles, parking or driving through if it's an entranceway into your farm. That's entirely up to you. These doors do open and this is drive-through. The only thing I will say is the silo is set to the side, so when you come through you do have to either swing round here and back up or come to here and back up. It's not kind of as simple as, I mean, it's not a problem, it's just, like I say, I'm just pointing out. Lights on, boom, there we go. In and out done here, 90,000 litres standard crop type. Straightforward, but you can see what I mean about the detail. There's loads going on in here. Where's my option to close the door? There we go, close the gate. So you slide across, and the same on this side. This one's got a small door, and it has got the option for the door as well. I think this one's swing open rather than slide. There we go. Oops, I should have done the other one. Not to worry. And then we've got a light switch in here, and again drive through, but this doesn't have a silo in this side. This is more just for storage. So that is the Gothic Barn. Behind that we've got the shed. We'll get to that later on. Gone the wrong side. Meant to go, oh no, shed I'm going to show you. Build mode, shed, there we go. So the shed, 5.21 megabytes download. This is by Matiss. It is 5 slots, 25,000 to buy. There's no customization options, no colour option on this. It comes just like that. And there it is. That's your shed. I say, no colour option. For whatever you want, for 25 grand. Nice. The shed. Next we've got the drying fermenter by, I put down Hasco. It is Hasco, isn't it? Let me check. Yes, it is. It's by Hasco. This is 18.28 megabytes download, 26 slots, 187,000 to purchase. This will take in chaff, grass and straw. You can produce silage or you can produce hay, or both at the same time if you want to. It's a very large building. Build mode, and this was factories as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Just there. No customization options. It comes as it is. I did wonder whether or not actually when you turn this on, whether these would turn green or anything, but they don't. I think they just stay like that. So at the moment, Yeah, nothing else changed as far as I can tell. So managed production is done here. At the moment, I'm just doing grass, and we are turning that. As you can see, we've already got 7,459 litres of silage. So 1,000 to 1,000, it'll run fairly fast, as you can see, 384 cycles a month. The chaff option, 336 cycles a month, but a 1,000 to 1,000. And if you want to do hay, it takes grass and straw. I assume straw being the proponent that gets burnt to run whatever furnaces that are drying out. I assume. Again, like I say, I'm making somewhat of an assumption. So putting into the silo is done here. Now you can do your grass, chaff and straw into here, but there is a bit round to the side here for bales. So if you've got any of those things in bale form, I bought over a round bale of straw and it took it from there, no problem at all. Taking out here was silage. So the silage is out the front when it's being produced. Around the side you can take out all the other things. So your grass, straw, and whilst you put in a chaff can all be taken out from here, but you can also take your hay out from here as well. So silage around the front, all the other things around the side you can take out. Boom! Drying Fermenter by Hasco. Next we've got the Brazilian Pigsty. This is one of 3. The first one has a fence around it. The next two are open, so they're fenceless. You do have the option to customize these, so you can make these pens much bigger if you want to. So we have got 7.58 megabytes download, 3 slots each, 14,000 each, 36 animals each in their base configuration, but like I said, they can be customized. These are by naimog mod. That being said, I placed this in its standard configuration, and rather than being 36, it's saying 29. So again, I don't know why it's done that, but water in, feed in, that's all it requires. If you look, no, I need to go into here, there, and go to Pigsty. Yeah, it's just water in and then their feed. So if you want to do the separate feed or you want to just bring pig food, that's entirely up to you. But we go into our build mode, down to here, across to pigs, and here are our 3. So that's the concrete one you've seen already. Now, something to be aware of with this. If we go for this one, which is the wooden one, that looks like that. Like I say, there's no fencing on this one. It is open, as you can see. Slightly different design to it as well. And then this one here, which is our open concrete pigsty. So it's the same thing, but open without fencing. So let's have a look at the wooden one. Now, when we go to place this, I've got to make sure it gets the right way around. Overlap, place item. Do I want to do this? Now, be careful, because it's the same thing as always. I think when you go to place these, the point you start from should be lit up in green. The one you're going to should be red or something, because you kind of get this marker. Now, am I going from that one or am I going from that one? The thing was, every time I tried to move anywhere, it kept saying it was colliding with an object, and I couldn't for the life of me work out which one I was going from. I'm assuming it's that one. But now I'm not sure. So I do that, let's say that, and then back, please work. There we go. Plant the meadow, yes, there we go. So, like I said, it's fairly straightforward. You understand how these things work by now, unless of course you're brand new to the game, in which case, there you go. That's how you do that kind of thing, which will give you a larger capacity than the capacity it says. So it says 36, my one's doing 29 here, but the bigger you make the pen, the more animals you can put in it. That is entirely up to you. Now, on from there, we've got the Cowshed pack. So the Cowshed pack then is 55.57 megabytes download by IrrSinn Rainer. We've got 23 slots, 150,000 to buy, will hold 57. Then we've got 11 slots, 85,000, will hold 30. 12 slots, 40,000, will hold 30. 9 slots, 115,000, will hold 30. None of these have the option for extending the pen size. They are as they are, but each one comes with some specifics you need to be aware of. So I put one of each out. They look great. I'm sure we had this in FS22. I think we did. I recognise a couple of the buildings themselves. So into our build mode again, and this time we're going to come back to our cows. That's horses, cows. There we go. So that one there is this one here, which was 150 grand. I said that will hold 57. That one there, 85 grand, that will hold 30. Now the first one says a place to keep your cows. We'll check on that in a minute because I think we can get milk and stuff from that. The second one says a small stable to keep young cows on straw. No milk or liquid manure is produced here. That's that one. Be aware of that. This one, which is this one here, is the calf shed. A barn to house calves in groups on straw. Only manure is produced here. So again, no milk, no slurry. This one is an open barn for beef cattle. An open stable to keep fattening animals on straw. No milk or liquid manure is produced here. So it is just for fattening of animals. So those things you need to be aware of if you're going to pick any one of these. This one I love. It's got the little calf igloos down the side of it as well. But anyway, that all being said, we've got our slurry point to the side there. This was the standard one. Milk point there. That door does open into the main building. Shutter opens here. Now this is cool as well. We've got the side bit here. We can open and close the windbreak if we want to. Feed down the middle here, door opens at the other end, and we do have a light switch over here which we can turn on and off like so. We come out of this one and cross the way to this one. Again, feed, bedding, etc. here. This was the calf barn with a light switch. No colour options on these, they came as they were. This was again the calf one, but these igloos are built in and I really like that. Pretty cool. Well, we've also got dialogue boxes there and now various different triggers. This one didn't seem to have an option for raising that. I think that windbreak just stays as it is, but at the back here by the door we can hide the buckets if we want to. If you don't want the buckets, you can hide the buckets. But the calf igloos there, I couldn't get this door to open, but we've got our shed lights there. And this one was the one for fattening of animals, so this is more for your beef, cattle, that kind of thing. You won't get anything else from this, but again, fairly straightforward. Light switch just over to the side, he says. Light switch. Oh, was that the other side? I made an assumption. I saw the box. All the other ones seem to have been like that. Okay, that's odd. Feed bits in the middle here, and the cows will kind of wander around with gates and things that open, and yeah, they're really nicely made in detail, but please pay attention to the description of what each one does so you don't pick the wrong thing. Anyway, that is the Cowshed pack. Next we have got this. Now I would normally skip through some of these and show them but not show them out, but these need to be shown, all of them actually. This is the Handcrafted weight box, 4.94 megabytes download, 2 slots, by Kaymara and TheDesignFarmer. You will find this under weights, just there, and there. So we've got the option of rusty or painted. If you go rusty, when you change the main colour, nothing will happen. So if you want the painted version, agricultural conveyor plate, if you want that on there. Extinguisher, yes or no, puts it around the back there. And then we've got tool storage, yes or no. So if you have no, this will just have straps in it and you can strap things down inside, whether it be logs or bags of seed or whatever you want to throw in there. If you put yes on, you'll see in a moment, their main colour, we can pick whatever we like for our main colour of our box. Now, come to here, we can raise and lower our box like that. Then L1, right 6 side, we can open the box up like that. Come around the front. As you can see, we've got a tension strap, and we've also got the option for putting in our chainsaw, spray can, or horse brush. So if you're doing some forestry stuff, you can stick it in there. Offcuts, bits and bobs. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the tension straps. You can put other things in there as well, not just a chainsaw on its own. Awesome. Handcrafted weight box. Next we've got this. Again, I looked at this, I thought, oh, seems straightforward. No, it wasn't. This is the Adapter 3-point SkidSteer by NASA B82, 0.9 megabytes download. You'll find this under miscellaneous. Not there. Under miscellaneous. So here it is, the Adapter 3-point SkidSteer. It says, with this adapter, it's possible to connect the mini loader tools to the 3-point hitch of telescopic handler tractors. Now, that doesn't make any sense. Ignore that. Because on the website, Modhub, it says 3-point adapter for skid steer attachments to use attachments directly with a tractor. Where it says there about telescopic handler tractors, I don't know if that just means if you've got a front loader, but not telescopic. Anyway, and it also comes with a high dump bucket. So that, we have the option to change the main colour. Let's do that, which does that, and then the design colour does the front bit. That's that. Then we come from there and we go up to the top and we come to our skid steer loader tools. We have also there the high dump bucket, which is the same as that. However, this does have an option for 1,284 litres or 6,000 litres, which should actually attach to the SkidSteer loader anyway without this attachment. So this will go to the SkidSteer loader, which is pretty cool. We can change the main colour on that too. So what it means is on our 3-point of our tractor we can run SkidSteer loader tools, which for something like this, or the rock breaker, you don't need a SkidSteer loader. If you've already got a tractor, you can just run a rock breaker from the SkidSteer loader tools. So there's our adapter on the back. Come to there, hook it up, and then we've got, there we go. If we do that and that, we can lower that down, raise it up. There's no manual adjustment for that, so we can do it like that, disconnect that, and then the bucket, the high tip bucket. Now I did wonder, because there's always that thing of, that's all well and good, it's saying it's got 6,000 litre capacity, but when you hook that up, is it going to tip the tractor up if you haven't got a weight on? No, it's absolutely fine. Same thing with this, we can go, press triangle, go to there, we can raise and lower our adapter for our bucket, and then we have the high tip function on that. I'm not going to do that because it's going to tip my olives all over the floor, but it has a high tip function on there, so it makes it quite a versatile thing. As I say, changes the 3-point link into accepting SkidSteer loader tools, but then it also gives you the ability to have a 6,000 litre bucket on a SkidSteer loader, which I think is pretty handy. So there we go. Next we've got the Quicke Gradingbucket, and again I thought, alright, just a grading bucket. No, of course not. The Quicke Gradingbucket, 0.84 megabytes download, 2 slots by Not Polar. It has a tension belt option on it, so this you'll find under front loaded tools, just there. Takes pretty much anything with a 750 litre capacity, but more importantly, tension belt, yes or no? Because it's quite wide and it's quite flat, as you can see, you can fit any pallets on there. You can put an IBC on it, which again, if you've got a front loader or a front loader vehicle or something like that, it makes it very, very useful for moving stuff around. Very cool. And then when you get where you're going, take it off, unload it, do whatever. Now obviously you can do it with pallet forks, you don't have, you know, but it does mean you could put logs in there, you could do all sorts of stuff. I just think it makes that bucket a little bit more versatile than just a 750 litre bucket. That's the Quicke Gradingbucket. Next we're going to have a look in here. So again, under front loader tools we've got the Bressel and Lade. I always said Bressel and Lade, I'm going to get in trouble. Shovel pack by VertexDezign, 5.43 megabytes download, 2 slots. Yeah, under front loaders, so that's that one there, the L16. So this we've got a capacity of 2,080, 2,390, 2,600, 3,110, back again. Braces, yes or no, so you can put those in the middle. Then we've got the option for front loader attacher, telehandler attacher, or wheel loader attacher. Chassis, we can change the colour of that to that. That's under front loader tools. If we then go to wheel loader tools, that's where you'll find the shovel L17. 2 slots on that, 3,030, 3,330, 3,860, 4,240, back to 3,3030, so 4,240. Braces, yes or no. Wheel loader, telehandler, just those. Not a front loader option on that because I'll probably be too heavy. And then chassis colour change on that as well. It's not a high tip bucket on that, it's a bucket, but that's what it will do. Next, oh yeah, I didn't get one of these out. I'll show you this as well. Under ploughs, we have got just there the Agromash POH5. No, yeah, mod, yeah, the POH5. Sorry, that is 5.26 megabytes download, 5 slots, 2.5 meters by Puszkap. Options on this: we've got universal mold boards or slatted mold boards. This one does rotate, so you can create fields. It will rotate over, so you have the option to rotate it. It's in its open configuration. You can fold the plough. That just folds the plough tighter in behind the tractor. It doesn't swing it around and put that wheel on the floor. It just brings it in a little bit, so it's more behind the tractor than out into the road. And it ploughs as you would expect a plough to do. 150 horsepower required. It does the plough thing. The Acromesh POH5. Next, we've got this. This is the Deutz-Fahr Topliner 4090 by Mat 26. 40.91 interesting enough. Megabytes download. 13 slots for the main vehicle, 7 slots, 6 meters for the header, 3 slots for the header trailer. Now on FS22, this was kind of the base standard. When you got a map, this was the harvester you started with. Obviously now we got the new Massey, but this was the one on 22 you kind of tended to start with. So we'll have a look then, shall we? If we go into our equipment machinery, harvest is just there. There's not many options on this, and I think it's just been ported over, really just converted for 25. So we've got the option of Trelleborg, BKT, Michelin, back again, and the Trelleborg. Some different tyre options. BKT, same thing. Michelin, and license plate. We come out of there, go to our headers. Again, it's just the header is there. There we go. No options, comes like that. And the header trailer you'll find on the header trailers. Very, very straightforward. Cool. Right, come out of there. So, looks nice, looks crisp, looks clean and tidy. We need to unfold. I do like the unfold of this as well. It's cool. Pipe in and out. I mean, I know I do this when I do the mod reviews, but if you've played the game for any amount of time and you've used a harvester at any point, you know what a pipe does. Pipe in and out, unless it's something that's unfolds in a very unusual way. I mean, I suppose it's fairly straightforward what the pipe does when it unfolds. Horn, lights, turn the beacons off. Oh, what else have we got? Lower our header. Our header in and out, up and down, so we can adjust that again for a bit more immersion if you want to get the correct crop height. Then we do have underneath here, I heard the noise but couldn't see anything, but if we go L1 and we do, where are we? Oh, why have I lost my option? Why is it not giving me option 2? Enable or disable straw swap. Is it because I've already come over towards sorghum? That's weird. I'm not missing that, am I? Pipe out, harvester, fold, lower. Toggle map view. I tried it over there. There was a clonking sound. It might be because I'm going to do sorghum. Anyway, turn it on. Drop the header down. Yeah. And it does the harvest thing in cab. So if you have been particularly missing the Deutz-Fahr Topliner, here it is in all its glory. Did I say it's by Mat 26? Mat 2? Yeah, that's by Mat 26. Which brings us on to the last of the mods for today, and this was another one of those ones I saw it and thought, no, that big gulp of, oh. But don't worry, it's not as bad as you might first think. And it's this. This is representative of two models. This is the John Deere 1270G Pack by HR Forst und Fahrzeugbau. It is 41.94 megabytes download. There are 27 slots each. There are two. I've got another note here, but that will come into effect later on. So these you'll find under forestry and under your your harvesters section. So there's the base game 1270G. Options on this, you've got tyre. That's it. So this is the 1270G 6-wheel drive. The base game is the 8, and that's what that one is, the 8-wheel drive. So we'll have a look at this. The options are the same on both. It's just one's 6-wheel, one's 8-wheel. But yeah, the options are absolutely the same. Now that one says that will cut trees up to 70. These say 71, an extra 1 centimetre cut. That's cool. Anyway, 435,500 options on this. We have got Nokian, BKT, Trelleborg, Olisfors. Under Nokian we have got those. Under BKT we've got those. Under Trelleborg we've got those. And then Olisfors, I'm not going to read them all out, but we go through all of the standards as far as the Pro Grip goes. Then we go on to these at the front, and then it will switch to the back, and it does all the back ones, all the various different, as you can see there, then we go through all these, the Baltics, the Pro Grips, and the Kovacs, and the Magnums, and yeah. So you got window tint, tinted 1, tinted 2, back to standard. Speed sticker, yes or no. Speed. Rear cage, yes or no. Position lights, yes or no. Where does that put those on? I think it puts chicken lights all around the outside. We'll turn those in a minute. Additional cab lighting. Puts that all around the front. Loads of cab lighting on there. Interior decoration. Puts some extra gubbins inside. Window protection, yes or no. Puts the grille over the front. We've got crane additional protection. Puts some protection around all the bits there at the top and just bolsters everything up. Reflector strips, yes or no. Puts those on. Easy arm control. I left it on no, but you can put easy arm controls on the front. Chainsaw holder, yes or no. I haven't found that yet. I'll have to look for that. Cabin rotation. So at the moment it will follow where you move, but then you've also got the option for cabin rotation 90 degrees left or right. I put on yes, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Then we've got our options for main colour, does that. Cabin colour, does that. Processor head, does our harvest head. Hose protection, let's go white so you can see that, so that will change the hose colour. Olive fours, if you've gone for them, I tend to, if I do go for olive fours, I know they're blue standard, I tend to try and go metallic because I prefer them as chains personally. Then the rim colour option and license plate option on there too, and the options are exactly the same for the 8-wheel drive. All the tyre choices, speed sticker, rear cage, position lights, interior deco, whatever I say, deco I suppose it's decoration, isn't it? Crane protection, reflector strips, easy arm control, chainsaw, all of it, the colours are exactly the same. It's just the 8-wheel drive version instead. Now luckily, because I thought, oh, is this going to be one that has adjustable bogies and all, because sometimes the HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau stuff is rammed full of stuff, so actually it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But where can I go? I'm trying to work out, because I went for, oh, there it is. There's the chainsaw. So we've gone for the chainsaw holder. So if you're doing stuff in this and you find you've got something awkward you need to jump out, you can put a chainsaw on there if you want to. So there's the chainsaw holder. Let's jump in, start it up. As you can see, we're on a slope. Cab levels automatically. You don't have to do anything with that for that. It will do it anyway. L1, right stick side to side, does that side to side. Up and down, does our up and down. R1, right stick side to side, does our in and out. And brings the whole unit in, whole unit out, in, out, shake it all about. We've then got L1, R1, rotates the head, and we can actually open the claws manually if we want to open the claws. If we want to turn on the harvester head, turn on tree harvester, we'll do that, which says the whole lot. Change cut length. Now the cut length goes from 1 metre in half-metre increments. So we're on 8 at the moment, so 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11. That goes up to, and that's with either note or write down, 25 metre. So you can go up to 25 metre in half-metre increments if you want to, all the way up on that. And then we've also got, oh, we can tilt the harvester head. If a tree's on the floor, or you drop a tree on the floor, tilt the harvester head, turn it on, go onto it, and it will say cut. You press cut, it will pick the log up, and you can carry on again. So if you've never had to do that, or you don't know about that, then that's what that will do. As you can see, our cab is moving with us lights. I went for the extra cab lights and stuff as well. Horn. There's our first view. So if we move it, I'll stay there. If we move, our cab will move with us, which is pretty cool. If I press it again, it does this, which I now can't move my head. I'm fixed in place with that. Press it again, takes it to the processor head. Press it again, we come back away. So that first one, I can move my camera around within here. If I press it again, I can't. It won't let me move my head around. So if you want your head fixed in place, you can. But then we've also got, where were we? L1, R1, R1, toggle work mode. So L3, so we're on cabin alignment front. We can do cabin alignment left, which is that 90-degree turn. So if you're working out here, the cab's there, you can then move. Well, that's interesting. Why? Oh, wow, okay. That's something a bit different. Wasn't expecting that. That's weird. Why would you, I suppose so you can, would you look at the side? That's weird, because I thought that the arm would move independently. Anyway, then if we go R1 again, brings it back to centre for L3. Press it again, takes it out to the other side. Let's do that again. And there. Oh yeah. Is that curious? And then do it again, L3, bring us back to the middle, and it operates exactly the same as any tree harvester does. You know, it does the job it's supposed to do. It's fairly straightforward. 14 miles an hour. Oh, we have got the tree alignment thing. I don't tend to use those very often, but I can align the tree to that. I'll bring it down automatically, bring it to there, cut the tree, bring it up, swing it to one side or wherever you're going to do it. Of course, that's up to you. And there we go. Jobbed. Cool beans. Oh, that sounds cool. I like the way that engine whine came down and then door opens. Very nice indeed. The John Deere 1270G packed by HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau. Have I got time? Shall we speed up time and see what a raspberry pallet looks like? I don't think we're necessarily going to need to bring it over and then run them through and see what the jam and stuff looks like, but I want to see what a raspberry pallet looks like. So bear with me a second, I'm going to speed up time till we get a raspberry pallet out. Just for my own curiosity more than anything else. Well, there's the thing, I skipped way too far ahead. I skipped ahead to about 4 PM and it was saying it had just gone over 1,000 litres, but no pallet had spawned. And I thought, well, maybe they're 2,000 litre pallets. So I thought, well, rather than do 1 hour at a time, I skipped straight till 10 PM. Turns out the pallet is 1,050 litres. So if I had just waited a little bit longer, but there you go. There's a raspberry pallet with raspberries in. We should have one this side, 1,050, and I'm almost at another. If we look here, we're at what we're at 1,043. So yeah, I mean, not too slow. And then those would go over. Actually, let me just. I don't think it's going to be liftable because they're not standard pallets, in-game pallets. And they would go over and feed the raspberry factory. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.